Hi, this is Dr. Homer Lim, and you're listening to your Holistic Health Podcast. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back again here at Akesis Holistic Health Weekly Talk. Okay, so today our topic would be on dental amalgams. So before the advent or before the introduction of what we call non-metallic amalgams, the only amalgams which are what you put nga sa ngipin, are called amalgams or pasta. They're usually made up of a combination of mercury, cadmium, a bit of iron. So these amalgams are actually toxic, no. In fact, as of this year, the Philippines has already banned the use of metallic amalgams, which contains mercury, So a lot of there's a big controversy or a big brouhaha about this metallic amalgams. A lot of the dentists would keep on saying that these are very safe, they do not cause any health issues, and yet now this year 2020 it's actually banned because it can cause a lot of issues, because these heavy metals, whether it's mercury, or cadmium, so these are very toxic. Not only toxic to your metabolism, but also, more importantly, very toxic to your nerves and brain, So it's very, very important for us to realize that if you do have an amalgam, let's say you have meron kang pasta, you have an amalgam, you have to be aware of making sure to remove it if possible. Now, a lot of dentists do not want to remove them because, again, when they're going to remove that, they're going to be drilling it. When you drill it, they're going to be exposing themselves, not only to you, So what's important to know when you have amalgams, whether it's for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, every second that it's there, it's spewing out, It's leaking those heavy metals, whether it's mercury or whatever heavy metal that's included in the amalgam. So you have to understand that these amalgam are actually toxic. So when I see patients, we usually discuss or we talk about, do they have amalgams? Do they have root canals? So if they do have amalgams, so we do really suggest them to have it removed, because these amalgams, especially in patients with cancer, they are it's hard to treat them if they have heavy metals or amalgams still in their body, because then we won't be able to treat them properly, and we won't be able to maximize their treatments because of the presence of these toxic substances. So what's the number one issues with mercury? It's really toxic not only to the brain, it's also toxic to the other organs. Also very important to note that these heavy metals can cause what we call autoimmunity. So these have autoimmunity, meaning the body is attacking itself. So these heavy metals can bind to what we call certain proteins, and they become what we call neoantigen. So neo meaning new, antigen. So if you have what we call neoantigen, then the body will recognize the foreign body, and then the body starts producing the antibodies against that neoantigen. But instead of attacking or trying to remove the heavy metals, what happens is it attacks your organs. So a lot of people with heavy metals do have a propensity to having autoimmune disorders. Not only autoimmune, they might also have what we call neurodegenerative issues. Neurodegenerative meaning diseases in the brain, such as Alzheimer's, dementia, or you can have Parkinson's, or you can have multiple sclerosis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. So these are neurodegenerative conditions that are linked to exposure to heavy metals, specifically mercury. So they did, there's so many studies out there now. If you just go to PubMed, so it's Public Medicine Library, so that's called PubMed. You can search heavy metals and neurodegenerative. You see a lot of studies showing the association of these heavy metals with these certain medical conditions. So I just want you to be aware, everyone, that your dental health is also linked to your total health. So you have to be aware of what you put in your teeth, whether it's an amalgam or it's a root canal. So we have to be aware of what we put in, because your dental health is directly linked to your overall health. Okay? So a lot of these amalgams also can cause, aside from neurodegenerative disorders, it can also cause cancers, autoimmune disorders, even what we call resistant hypertension. Patients with severe forms of hypertension is because of the heavy metals actually causing a lot of problems in your body. Okay, so now I will read some questions from our listeners and answer them in this segment. What's a safe alternative for them? Actually, the dentists now use the light cured ones, the enamel form of, for your tooth decay. They put enamel version instead of the amalgam version, because again, amalgams are already banned in the Philippines because of the mercury. So if you do have amalgam, make sure to address them. So the best dentists who are able to extract these amalgams are what we call holistic dentists. So literally, when you do extract or you try to replace those amalgams, you have to be in with oxygen, so that you won't, and then you have a mouth dam, so you don't inhale or swallow the mercury, because if you do swallow it and then you ingest it, of course you'll be exposed to more of the mercury. Okay, if you're exposed to the amalgam for so many years, does it mean that it can cause bad effects in the body? Not everyone. There are people who are what we call hypersensitive, meaning they are very, very sensitive to heavy metals. So these are the people who develop what we call autoimmune disorders. But there are people naman who really don't have a reaction to that heavy metal. However, that heavy metal, when deposited into your organs, especially your brain, your nerve cells, that's where they cause problems. You can have either your neurodegenerative disorders, as we discussed a while ago. You can have your Parkinson's, ALS, multiple sclerosis, or MS, myotrophic lateral sclerosis. You can also have dementia. So these are some of the effects that these heavy metals can cause to your brain. Okay. Thank you for listening to your Holistic Health Podcast. This is Dr. Homer Lim. Now, if you do have questions about your health, or you would like to request topics for our next podcast, please do message us at our FB page or Instagram at Akesis Holistic Health, or you may visit our website at www.akesisholistic.com. Thank you again, and please do come back for our next episodes.